Hello my dear students, so this is another workbook exercise for the chapter A Horse and Two Goats from your English 2 book, that is Treasure Trove. So the first extract is from the line of the 700 villages dotting the map of India till the line by the iron hooped wheels of bullock carts. So the very first question from the first extract is, what is meant by microscopic dot? What is said about Kritam in the extract? Answer is, microscopic dot means something very small. Kritam was probably the tiniest of the 700 villages in India, as it was a microscopic dot on the survey map. Next question. What purpose does a map serve in a village? Answer is, a map gives the location of the village and the approach route to it. It serves as a guide for motorists, sources of revenue for revenue collectors, boundary of farms for farmers, and boundary of the village for their administration. Next, give a brief description of the village Kritam. Answer, Kritam is probably the tiniest of India's 700 villages. It is a village that consists of fewer than 30 houses, only one of them built from brick and cement. There are 4 streets in the village, with a shop for foodstuff and other items in the third street. Next question. Give the meaning of Kritam in Tamil. Where did Muni live in the village? Answer. Kritam in Tamil meant coronet or crown on the brow of the Indian subcontinent. Muni lived in the last house in the 4th street in the village, beyond which stretched the fields. Next question. How did the big house differ from other houses? How does this difference reflect on the theme of the story? Answer. The big house, unlike other houses, was built with brick and cement. It was painted yellow and blue all over with carvings of gods. The other houses were of bamboo thatch, straw, mud, and other unspecified materials. The theme of wealth and poverty is reflected by the grandeur of the big house. Okay, so the next extract is from the line, in his prosperous days, Muni had owned a flock, till the line, dry sticks bundled them and carried them for fuel at sunset. So the very first question from extract 2 is, how did Muni care for his sheep and goats? Why did he carry a crook at the end of a bamboo pole? Answer is, Muni would take his sheep and goats every day to the highway to graze around. He carried a crook at the end of the pole to collect foliage from the avenue trees to feed his flock. Next, in his prosperous days, how many sheep and goats did Muni have? What happened to most of them later? Answer is, in his prosperous days, Muni had owned a flock of 40 sheep and goats. Gradually, Muni's fortunes declined and his flock of 40 was reduced to only 2 goats. Next, what did Muni's wife give him for breakfast and midday meal? What does it show about his economic condition? Answer is, Muni's wife would give him salted millet flour in boiled water for breakfast. For midday meal, she would give him the same millet cooked into little ball which he would swallow with a raw onion. This shows the poverty, as they could not afford anything else. Next, why did Muni tether his goats to the trunks of the drumstick tree? What claim does he have over the tree? Answer, Muni tethered his 2 goats to the trunks of the drumstick tree so that his 2 goats could graze only within a set radius and not wander off and get lost. Although no one could say precisely who owned the tree, the only claim Muni had was that he lived in its shadow. Okay, so the last question is, compare and contrast Muni's prosperous days with his present living conditions. Answer is, Muni once lived a prosperous life and reared flock of 40 sheep and goats, but now he was left with 2 goats. Muni wanted to enjoy life, but now he had lost his riches. He had no option but to remember his past with regret. He remembered the time when he smoked cigarette, chewed betel leaves and bhang in a hut in the coconut grove with the famous butcher from the town. Even today, he craved to chew the drumstick out of sauce, but failed to obtain the food items, prepare it on credit from the shopkeeper. So these are the first 2 extracts from the chapter A Horse and Two Goats. The next extracts exercise will be uploaded in the coming video.